let us recheck this.
Okay.
I'm fixing it right now.
You're live.
I'm live? Alright, there we go. Alright, we're just gonna start... No, I'm kidding. Alright, I'm gonna recap everything that's happened. I don't know if it's gonna upload that second part of the video, or the first part, but yeah. Okay.
Well, you know, Brandon, you've been saying you wanted to give people breaks. This might be a good time to take a 5 for everyone else.
Yeah, if you guys want to take 3 minutes real quick, I'm just going to run through everything that's happened this session. Very quickly, we recap the session of what happened last on the last episode. If you want to see that, you can watch last episode on 2.0 speed, episode 11. Moving into this episode, we started with Father A in Anadelia in the Nakart Keep. He left Anadelia's chamber to talk to Rachia. Him and Rachia had a brief discussion back and forth. Rachia told him that she only has discussed what you guys have found in your adventures, her personal relationship with Anadelia, and her faith with her father, and nothing beyond that. They don't talk about battle plans, alliances, or any of the going-ons with the Magnate. From there, Father A left and headed northwards. He ran into his party members headed south. The party members informed him that the northern part of the city was going to be cut off from the rest of the city when they blow the bridges. Father A remembered that the Kalkin office was there, and that so was the Chop and Shop where his criminal contact was, and continued to head north to the palace to speak with Anadelia. Bartholomew investigated the catacombs of Muctherin Reese a second time and found that somebody had been there between midnight last night and sometime this morning, and that they had came from the same direction of the palace, entering, the cemetery. And then Thalin and Celebris just went to Anadelia's keep to talk with her about requesting aid from Lethalia Nakart, and Anadelia for a second time has belayed her orders to attack Storm's Nest, moving them off this time an entire day. And we are going to jump right back into it from there, with Father A going to Zenith's Rise. Yes.
Okay, real quick before we go there, I want to do one more thing.
Yes.
Last session we were talking about maybe trying to contact Draylen, see if he could maybe use some of his weight to influence this thing. Who are we going to send? Was that Bartholomew and somebody else? I forget. Anybody remember?
Oh, it was Lance. You guys decided to send Lance on that, because Lance was the one who already had a contact with him.
Well.
Yeah. Nobody has heard from Lance.
I was actually going to say, after we're done there, Celebris is going to look at Thalin and say, we should probably get back up to the Kalkin office and get everyone there evacuated if they're going to blow the bridges.
Okay, I just want to say to Celebris, if Draylen's this big merchant, he might be able to influence those trade routes and cut off some of the supplies to this army, which would greatly help our cause, so that's something to keep in mind.
If you want to poke the tiger of Makana by trying to side with him, more power to you.
Hey, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer, right?
We'll talk to them when we get up there, but we should get up there so we can get them out.
I just want to thank Anadelia again and tell her that She has an ally in me, and if her Lady Nightcrawler ever need anything, to not hesitate in asking me. That's all I got.
Alrighty. Yeah, you guys can start heading to the north part of town. Father A and Zenith Rise.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Let me move us over there and remember everything that has happened. You are going to find searching for Ariana. You are going to find her in her personal quarters. She is in prayer to the Four Ascended. And I'm going to and the person obviously, you know, like the obviously this is a open kind of ceremony. Not only is she in prayer, there are several diplomats here, as the Sage of Ardor is leading this vigil. They pause for a minute, seeing Father A outside of her chambers, and these are the large chambers that Marcus once occupied, with the two rows of bookshelves, the meeting area in the side of the room, and the large king size bed in the center. All of these people are gathered around a table in the right of the room, and curious to Father A, there are no guards at the open door of this chamber. Tarum is the only guard in this room for what appears to be about 6 people.
As gathered around a table. Can I see the table?
Yes, it is not the one Roman punched.
No, rip that table. No, I just is there something on the table?
No, actually leading this prayer vigil is High Counselor Ostel. She does not have any text or anything other than her holy symbol that she's holding out extended in one hand, and her 2 arms are wide open as she's the only one standing up. As you step into the room, she's going to pause and look towards Father A, and I'm gonna roll her a history check. She doesn't recognize him, but she's going to say, "This is a vigil praying for the safety of our forces before the fighting breaks out. Any knight is welcome to attend." At that, the people at this table are all going to turn around and look at Father A. Ariana notices him, and she steps up from the table and says, "Excuse us for a moment." The High Counselor says, "Of course, Magnate." Ariana walks towards Father A, Tarum following close in suit.
It seems all I do today is interrupt things.
She shakes her head and says, "It's a very trying day."
I can only imagine. So I spoke with Anadelia this morning.
Yeah,
that was a pause, so if you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you pique her interest, she kind of tilts her head towards you, and her eyes widen, and she says, "And we have her swords, correct?"
Yes, as far as I can tell. I wanted to let you know that she seems intent on using her forces to fortify Storm's Nest. Her wording indicates something more volatile, but I don't take it to be such. What I do seem to understand is there seems to not be much communication between the two of you.
Ariana is going to say, yes, she hasn't came to see me here at the keep. It's only been a night, but something like this. She's gonna swear under her breath and say, Rian, that lady probably knew this was coming and let it happen.
Is she, like, accusing Anadelia of knowing?
Yes.
Lady Cyril didn't know to the extent of what we were dealing with. I imagine you might be accusing her wife of some kind of impropriety. And Lady Rachia might be the most innocent of us all.
Ariana is, she's, not really gonna accept that, and she's, gonna say, or she could be a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Then she dons quite the good disguise. That woman is joyful to the point that it makes me sick. The point is I don't see that camp being against us. But the problem is that the lack of communication, I think, will pose more of a problem. Had you not known about Anadelia's, had you learned about Anadelia's fortification of Storm's Nest when it happened, or as it happened, as opposed to me now, what are the odds you see it as an attack, as opposed to a handout?
Ariana is going to clench her teeth and say, I'll communicate. I'll send 6,000 soldiers to take Somia and her keep from her.
Father Ace just kind of shrug, like a, you see what I'm saying, girl? And go, and you understand my, my trepidation at this. I have a suggestion.
You can continue. Ariana looks in thought.
Last I checked, it was the Chantry of Unity?
Yes.
That had nominated Lethalia?
No, the Chantry of Harmony.
Okay, thank you, sorry. The Chantry of Harmony, have they appointed anybody yet? Do I know that?
They have not.
Okay, so the
That's the
Chantry
chantry
of...
me and Lance went to.
I thought that's the thing. I thought that was the one. Either way.
Yeah.
So the Chantry of Harmony nominated Lethalia to be on your High Council. She declined and nominated Anadelia, and from there they froze out for due to some of the same issues you seem to be having with their loyalties. Given the state of things, I might suggest if something of an informal shortcut. If you put her on your High Council, that keeps her close and within earshot. And maybe end some of this communication problems.
Almost reflexively, Ariana's gonna say, but I'd never listen to that stubborn woman. She's
exactly like you. And that's the problem.
Yeah, at that point, Ariana's going to look to the side to the people within her room, and she's going to nod to them and say, "This session is over. Thank you, Counselor Estiel, but we'll need some more privacy." These the 6 people around the table, including the High Counselor, are all going to file out. Ariana is going to say, you think this is a good idea, giving her even more power?
The simple fact is she's not going to, she's seemingly okay acting with the power she has already. And from the sounds of it, it puts you on edge. It's often safer to keep the most dangerous of daggers closer, so you can see when they're drawn. If you let her work from the shadows, and she is going to betray you, you won't see it until it's too late.
She is, nodding, taking this into thought, and as, everybody's, filing, out of this room, and, walking down the hallway, she, calls out and says, Counselor Estelle! The, sage, stops, and, she, walks back into the room and says, could you speak with Ocular Sunsari on my behalf? I believe I have a favor to request of him as his new magnate, to reconsider his or to reconsider approving and Our Lady Surreal for the High Council. She looks at Father A, and then to Ariana, I keep doing it. And she's going to...
We're the same person.
Yeah, she's going to say, are you sure about this? I was elected from the... and she looks to Father A saying this. I was elected from the Chantry of Unity recommended me for this position. My Chantry, I don't hold very much favor with them. She says, well, do this for me if you can, and I will, in return, I will position an entire battalion around Shaper's Retreat. I don't believe even the Mountain Wardens would be sacrilegious enough to attack your monastery, but should it happen, you guys will have an entire battalion to command in your defense. The sage bows and it says, it will be done, my magnate.
I'll offer a bow if she's starting to leave.
She is. And Ariana is going to gesture towards her and say, "See, I'm not as stubborn as Anadelia."
It is the benefit of your youth. You have the ability to correct habits before they sink in. Look, I don't entirely trust Anadelia. The Nakart Cyrils. They work in the places where your eyes aren't looking. That can be advantageous, but it also can be quite dangerous. But she seems... If anything, her problem doesn't seem to be with your authority or the fact that you are our magnate. I think she honestly just doesn't like being bossed around by what she considers a child. And frankly, as the possibly oldest knight in your battalion, in your service, I don't like hearing children bicker.
She is going to look at you with a bit of bitterness in her eyes, And she's gonna say, "Excuse me?"
I'm not great with words, despite being a holy man. I think she respects your position, but not your, but doesn't respect your youth.
She's going to nod and say, "Well, I didn't ask for this position, but I'm damn sure going to do what I can while I'm here. Whether I have to raise an army or a tantrum, but people will come to the defense of Ardor. They will bow to the throne, and we will put this this fucking country back together."
Well, she literally swear?
Yes.
That's dope. But Father A is gonna kind of go like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
I assume Tarim made absolutely zero emotional response.
Tarim is going to say, as that happens, he's gonna kind of look to the side and say, "Lady Bertolf, you're magnate," and he's gonna correct himself. "Magnate Bertolf, you're the celestial magnate." And she's going to turn to him, fuming, and, at him making unflinching eye contact with her, she's going to kind of deflate, and he's going to say, "Carry yourself with the respect the station demands." And at the moment of, a child, being scorned by the one person who they're going to, listen to, she's going to kind of realize what just transpired. And she's going to look to Father A and say, "I'm sorry, I let my anger get the best of me. Is that all?"
Yes, if that's all I had. Besides, one more piece of wisdom. You are our final authority, but you don't have to do everything. I worry you stretch yourself too thin, thinking that you have to have all the solutions. It's okay to ask somebody else for help.
She's gonna nod in consideration of that, and not respond. You can roll an insight check if you want.
Yay! I love insight checks. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good.
Yeah. You're gonna see her definitely nodding as a person getting wisdom from an elderly wise person, but you can definitely tell she's holding her tongue of just yes, 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 yes.
But that's all I had to report. If there's anything you need of me, I am of course in your service.
She's going to actually she's good. She's gonna shake her head and say no. Several keepers appeared at the city gate. A battalion of not a battalion, a group of the army's leaders. I sent another group of knights already to escort them here to the palace.
Do you require an extra pair of hands, extra protection, perhaps?
She shakes her head and says, "No. We'll meet and counsel, and then afterwards, the terms of the engagement will be set from here out."
Father A will nod. I must meet with the others. As you may or not know, the Kalkin house is on the northern side of the bridge. So we'll have to make sure that we're properly evacuated so that we can help in the siege.
She is going to say, "Oh, well, you'll notice Captain Tatum and oh my gosh, what is her name? Captain Tatum and Captain
Super Captain.
Yes, Super Captain. It is, Captain Nyron. Captain Tatum and Captain Nyron are greeting the Army's leaders on the north side of the city proper. They should be passing directly by your order hall. Offer Captain Tatum any aid, should you guys find yourselves available to.
Of course, Magnate.
Alright, Father A heads out?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Thalin, Celebrus, headed to the Calcan office. Bartholomew, headed to the Calcan office. Father A, headed to the Calcan office.
Actually, wait, real quick, I have a question.
Yes.
Given the layout of the city, where's the Chop and Shop relative to the Calcan office?
I am going to move us over to Ardor.
/ relative to Zenith's Rise.
Yeah, the Chop and Shop is on the edge of the Forge Ring. The Calcan office is kind of like a customs office leading into the city proper from across the bridge. It is not a customs office, but it's in the same area that, the one is. To get over there, you can take that route is the most popular route to the city proper. That route is the most direct route to the Calcan office.
I was just curious, in terms of, if I would pass by or essentially be more closer in proximity to it on the way, I'd rather go to the Chop and Shop. But if it's I'd have to skip the Calcan office to get there, I might as well stop at the Calcan office first, because I might need backup.
At the Chop and Shop?
Yeah, you never know what's going on. There's a siege outside.
Yeah, so, the gate that actually leads you, to the north part of the city, from Zenith Rise, the Fire Watch doesn't actually open as a, gate of anybody can pass through. It's kind of more of an emergency of opening it. So, you're going to be, taking the most popular route, which is down the Palace Concourse through the, I'm sorry, excuse me. Through the city, up to the city proper. So you would pass the Chop and Shop headed to the Calcan office.
You know what? I'll still go to the Calcan office first. I need backup.
Headed into the Calcan office. Bartholomew is going to be the first one there. Bartholomew.
We don't all arrive at the same time?
Well,
what?
Yeah, as I say, Bartholomew was the one who first left there. Bartholomew is going to get to the Calcan office. You are going to find it delightfully deserted. Of course, Kytrina is still holding down the fort, as she's the only person in the order hall right now. Upon you stepping in, you can see she is in full plate armor, sitting at the lobby desk, doing the duties that a scribe would of anybody coming here to request aid. She is currently sharpening her longsword, just kind of treating it with a whetstone. She looks at you come in, and she says, "This side of town's been dead for the morning. Couple soldiers walking back and forth, but I didn't expect to see Didn't expect to see any of you guys coming back.
Well, I don't know where the others are or what they're doing, but I was. Where is everybody? They all gone? They're all gone?
Kytrina is gonna say the alarms that Yovano went off this morning. Makana, Yovano, and Meat went to try and chase that creature out of town again. Everybody else, I sent them to the south side of town for safety. Sindel and Johan are protecting Rachia, along with Thalin and Celebris.
Okay. Do you know when Makana will get back?
Kytrina's going to shake her head and say, no, that creature's been giving them some, that creature's been giving Yovano, some trouble. It's extremely elusive. That's why I sent Makana this time, to make sure, it either dies or it's gone for good.
Alright, and were you here last night when a message was sent to me?
She's going to roll a history check, and you see her thinking, and she's gonna say a lot happened last night, Bartholomew. And she sheaths her sword, running her gauntleted hand over her face, the leather glove side of it. And she's gonna nod and say, yes, I do remember Yovano said someone stopped him and gave him a letter on your behalf.
Okay. Do you know who that someone was who gave Yovano the letter?
She shakes her head and says, I'm not certain. It was only such a brief moment in between all of the fireworks that happened here. At that time, you're going to hear horses galloping outside.
I look at the window.
It's Thalin and Celebris.
Okay. I wave.
Hey guys, how's it going? But yeah, Thalin and Celebris arrive. Father A's, gonna be just minutes behind them on his horse.
I forgot I had a horse.
Well, it's not your horse, but it's a horse.
Well, I've already named him.
What's his name?
I haven't actually named him. But we're very attached.
It's an unspoken name. Celebris is going to enter the Calcan office.
You see Kytrina having a conversation with Bartholomew. She stands up and looks at all of you guys entering and says, this isn't a safe side of town to be on.
We know, that's why we're making sure everyone's evacuated. It's worse than we thought, Katrina. It's not just the mountain wardens.
Who else is it?
The Renapal army is out there as well. There's at least 5 times as many people as we initially thought. They're going to be destroying the bridges, connecting the northern part of the city to the rest of it, so we need to get everyone out of here.
I think we're the only ones left. Are you...
Kytrina is just thinking for the moment and is going to say, at this point, Father A, is going to come riding up too. And she's going to say, we don't have the manpower for a large-scale evacuation. However, the citizens themselves are smart. They've boarded up what buildings they can, and the streets this morning have been devoid of life.
I'm more concerned about this office here first and foremost.
She nods and says, "There's several ghosts in the basement. We cannot dispatch of. I'm going to stay here and defend the order house just to make sure our dungeon goes undisturbed. However, I don't require that of any of you. If this conflict breaks out, it's a civil war, not one that they'd be attacking diplomats and foreign emissaries."
Yeah, but at the same token, we're knights, so that could make a potential target.
She points at you guys and says, "You're knights. I am not."
Wasn't Katrina at the ceremony?
No, she was not. She declined.
I thought it was just Makana that did.
No. Katrina was not there either. Her step up in authority was taking over this order house after the last leader died. Her stance was, I don't need any more responsibility. Father A is there too.
Well, I'm mostly here to see if you guys are okay. And then I was going to go stop off to see Galay. To make sure that she got out of the city proper.
Obviously, I can't force you to leave, Katrina, but I would highly suggest it, because if Civil War fully breaks out and this place does become a target, you're not going to be able to defend yourself against 25 plus strong. 25,000 plus.
She nods and says, I, however, did not take the oath to the throne. If they come here with armies on that note, those who are willing to listen, of course, I'll talk to them. However, I plan on boarding up the doors and residing in the dungeon myself should fighting erupt.
What's your take
Just
on the throne?
just that everybody, kind of sitting here and looking at her, she shakes her head at everybody and says, "I'm in charge of this order hall. Don't worry about me. Even if it does come to a siege, it's the captain's job to go down with the ship." Katrina is not leaving this place.
She will if we tie her up.
5 people roll the grapple attempts against her. I don't know if I showed her to you. There you go.
Well, I'll pray for your safety, but pray harder for your glory if anything goes wrong.
She is, gonna step forward with Father A and say, "May Lilia guide your fists." Offering a hand forward to him.
He won't say anything, but he will, shake her hand or take her.
Yeah.
I assume it's probably one of those like forearm.
Yeah.
So.
She looks at all of you and says, "I give you permission to reside in the Nakart Keep until this is over. But afterwards, you all have a job to do."
Of course. Thalin. If you and Barty probably can. I want to leave one of the horses here with her, in case she does need to make a speedy retreat. You and Barty could probably ride on one. Me and Anderson, I think we'll be okay on foot. How about you, Anderson?
Sprier than I look.
Works for me.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You're saying Galay and what's his face are still at the chop and shop?
I don't actually know if they're still at the chop and shop, but the chop and shop's on this side of the city. So I at least want to make sure that they're okay.
Let's go check in on them. If they're not, we'll get them out of here.
Do you two want to come along? I don't expect a fight, but
We're on the brink of civil war. Always expect a fight.
All right. So you guys head to the chop and shop?
but yeah, I think at least
Yeah.
Elbrus and I are you going. Okay, everybody going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
10.
You guys, let me explain the chop and shop to peeps. Gosh, it has been forever since I pulled this out and had to explain it. So the Forge Ring is one of the huge parts about Ardor's culture is forging, and the Forge Ring is kind of like a public park with areas for tons of people to set up pavilions. And metalwork is kind of like an art form here, and people just come here to watch smiths work metal. And there are different shops around the Forge Ring that open up, selling tools, selling, the pieces of artwork that people create here, and offering materials for artists and smiths to use. One of those is the Chop and Shop, specializing in selling and helping blacksmiths forge the best axes in all of Ardor. Inside this place, while the walls are normally lined, and you guys are going to see, moving into the Forge Ring, the Forge Ring is terrifyingly dead. Just echoing over the walls and over the river top, you guys can hear, the sounds of just like the various forms of life just drifting over the water and kind of rolling here from the army to the north. And the ring itself, which is normally a light with the sound of hammers, cheering, people, and sounds, is nearly non-existent. I'm going to roll a percentage die, actually, and based on that, that's going to be how many people are working here. So in this entire huge park that can house tens of thousands of people, you guys might see maybe 30 tents in the distance set up at various points around here. That said, stepping into the Chop and Shop, you guys can see Fractus is outside of it. He is boarding up he's boarding up the various windows here, as this building is inside the forge ring and doesn't really have to worry about like harsh blizzards hitting it or anything, because it's got a sturdy city wall right next to it. But he is boarding up the glass parts of his building, and he's going to see Father A and the rest of the party approaching. And he's going to say, "Huh, another crazy one venturing out during the storm."
Well, you know, I was there when it started to form. I might as well see it through until it passes.
He nods and says, "The child doesn't know what's good for her. She's inside doing business."
I was worried. That's why I'm here.
He nods and says, "We've moved all of our stock to our Ruby Vault. Then I'm getting the hell out of this city. Gonna head on down to Somer Villa until all of this is over with."
Sounds like a good idea.
You might
Between
wanna
the
back
city
it
and
soon.
the nade carts, nobody will probably get to you. So she's
You might wanna
inside?
get moving soon, because they're planning on destroying the bridges to the north for the northern part of the city.
Fractus is going to look a little surprised at that and say, "Damn!" And he's going to go back to, putting up these boards, and just, you guys see him working away at this. The door is not boarded up, BT dubs.
I'll go see if I can talk some sense into her Fractus.
All right.
Of course, if you want.
You guys are going to see Galay inside of here, and she is one of the strangest sights, for a blacksmith's apprentice. While you'd expect, her to have some stock to her build, she's really, more of like a frail person just, getting to young adulthood. The most ill-suited apprentice to be working in this shop. There's no stock on the walls here. No axes displayed, no weapons, no armor stands in the middle. The shop itself has been kind of emptied out. All the display cases pushed in the back corner. But back there, you can see in torchlight that Galay's holding. She is talking to another individual. Wes, are you there?
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and give us a description.
The individual that Galay is talking to, she seems, you can tell that this is a woman, of a slight build, about 5'8", 130 pounds. From her hooded cloak, you can see wisps of red hair peeking out. And as she turns and looks at you as you enter, you can see illuminated in the torchlight a fair face and green eyes of a half-elf, around the age of 25, 26.
Alrighty. And as you guys step in, she's having a conversation. She's going to say, I found the thief you were looking for. I don't know where he's located, but a couple of my contacts have seen an amulet like that. Man by the name of Eric Evergold trying to pawn it off.
Eric Evergold, you said?
Yes.
Okay. What
Jesus.
part of the city was he trying to pawn this off in?
She shrugs and says he stopped in, or rather they saw him at an Aline market, but travelers pass in and out of Aline all the time. He could have packed up and gone by now.
I'll have to check out Elaine and see if I can find anything there that leads me to him. Thank you for your information. And she will walk out, passing by the group and nodding briskly.
Jesus, Clay, the whole damn city's burning to the ground and you're still doing your job, huh?
Commendable.
Yeah, and she's gonna say there's a reason why I was put in this position. And she's looking at Father A and Celebris. It's gonna start rubbing her hands together and say, "What can I help my favorite contacts with today?"
First of all, have you considered leaving this accursed shop? They're gonna blow the bridge up.
She's gonna look surprised at that and say, "You always bring the best information."
Yeah, and I probably shouldn't have given it to you for free, but I like you, so...
Here, this will be our payment. Get the hell out.
But, I mean, if you're still willing to do business, I need to know who the Silver Senator of Ardor is.
She is... go ahead. Somebody was about to ask a question. Okay. Yeah, I heard somebody, turn on their mic for a second. So, you told her, the bridge is about to blow up. And when you mentioned that, she... and I didn't describe this, but she kind of went behind the counter into the back storeroom, and you just hear fumbling through stuff. And as you say that, her head's going to peek out of the back door and say, "I could find out for you."
I mean, it would be much appreciated.
She's going to call to the lady leaving the shop and say, "Cinder!"
Cinder's gonna turn around and say, "What do you want?"
Before she says anything else, she looks at Father A and says, "Dealing with the silver sigil is not a very common thing. My price is 50 gold. Prime extortion."
That's why I love her. Father A will produce it.
Alright. And she's going to look and say, "You had some dealings with that, investigating that Darenthel temple. What did you find out about it?"
She talking to me?
No, to Cinder.
I found out some information about, who had decided that it shouldn't exist anymore. I haven't had a chance to act upon it. Been mainly looking for the man who, stole my heirloom. Is there a reason that you want this information?
She nods and says, I know I helped you onto the Silver Senator's path, but I never heard back from you on it."
Cinder's going to cross her arms and say, "Information has a price. I do think that there is a way that I could find out the leader of the Silver Sigil here. I have found some lackeys that are in high places, and working a little bit, I could discover some information.
She nods and says, "What's your price?"
She thinks for a little bit and says, about 30 gold a night. And it shouldn't take me more than a couple nights of investigation.
She rolls a eye towards Father A and says, "Extortionist." And she looks back to Cinder and says, "My benefactors will make sure you're compensated."
Cinder gives her a nod and says, "I shall return soon with your information." And we'll then head out to Eileen to find out some more information, since it is, I'm assuming it's still around 2 o'clock.
Yes. You do know, BT Dubs, you do know that Cinder already has that information. It was something you and I discussed on the notes of your character
Oh,
sheet.
really?
Yes.
Oh, so she knows who the senator... Oh, yeah, she does know who the senator is. I forgot that.
Yeah, Gallade knows...
she's just trying to get some money.
Yeah, Gallade knows that you have the information, but she doesn't know what it is. And she's just like, this lady's extorting me! He's gonna just...
I mean, it is in her character. No.
Walks out, walks back inside. Hey, I found out. Glade's like, oh, great.
Wait,
No,
do I
she's
pick
gonna
up, like, do
walk
I
out,
pick,
yeah.
like, I mean, because she does, like, the roll her eyes, it's like extortionist. It's like, would I gather that it's like, oh, I have this information, I'm just gonna kind of kick the bucket for a couple days, because I get, 30 gold a night.
Roll me an insight check.
Yay!
Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Cinder wants to, try and, just pull more money from Gallade, via deception check, like trying to beat that. But for the most part, just looking at Gallade, Gallade knows that, like she's not gonna sell you any information that she doesn't have access to. Gallade obviously knows she's getting extorted right now.
So Father A will sort of turn and be like, if you have that information, I'll pay for it right away.
Say that again. You were looking up.
It's like, if you have that if you know who the Silver Senator is, I'll pay for that information right now.
She considers for a moment and says, 50 gold.
Father A will turn to look at Gallade and go, "You're obviously not charging enough," and hand Cinder 50 gold.
Father, just
Cinder,
literally tell me who I need to kill.
Please.
Looks at the money for a bit, puts it in a pouch by her side. Let me mark down that I got 50 gold. I've enjoyed this character way too much. And says, the man you're looking for is Jemai Orison. He's a Silver Senator for Ardor Sari. Or Ardor.
Gallade,
Is it Jamie or Jemai?
Wait, what was that last name?
Jemai Orison.
Orison.
Orasen.
Gallade, her eyes are going to widen a little bit and say, that's a pretty high up man you're dealing with.
Who is he? Is that name familiar?
No, it's not familiar to you, but Galay is going to say counselor to all the magnates. He's in charge of the court mages.
Cinder's going to say, "Thank you for your time and your money," and is going to walk out, presumably to Elaine, to find out her information.
Alrighty.
I feel like I should stop them, but I have really no obligation. I was like, so why are you looking, so, oh wait, no, they said that, right? Then you talked
in setbacks in the reasons that I am here in this city. I was going to exact some revenge on him, but it seems like you have that covered. Did you have any plans?
Put a dagger in his heart.
She thinks for a moment and says, "A dagger is too easy and it's just too peaceful for him."
Well, he doesn't deserve my hands, so.
I was thinking more of something in his drink.
When it's a religious duty of mine. When I pass that kind of judgment, I feel that it should be so personal.
It should or shouldn't?
Should.
Should.
So basically, I'm saying that, as a courtesy, if I decide you need to die, I'd like you, I do it myself.
Silver's just standing here between this conversation, like, what the fuck?
Why is this man my friend again?
Yeah, Galay is like packing her bag, and she's gonna look back at you guys just, non-committally to this conversation. It's like, I know people for that. They can do it nice and clean.
We've talked, Galay. I don't do assassins. At least, hiring them. Finding them is a different thing.
Cinder pipes up. "I can handle it myself, Galay. Thank you."
She's gonna nod, bag completely packed, and say, "Well, I guess I'll be staying," and hefting her coin purse, which is 50 gold heavier. Say, "I guess I'll be staying in an inn for a couple days."
I'm so conflicted right now. Because I just want to be like, I have a room.
Anderson, don't do it. We're already on shaky terms at the moment. We don't need to be sending another complication.
Known criminals?
Galay is not a known criminal, BT dubs.
Well,
if anything,
see, it's beautiful. I mean, they already house me. I mean, the Calcon office is just as bad as being in her shop.
No, I'm saying the one in Somar Villa.
Oh, that's fair.
You were saying something, Wes?
Anyways,
yeah.
Sorry.
Does the Galay? Oh my God! Does the Galay pass me as she's walking out?
No, she has not left yet. She's in conversation with all of you. Were you gonna say something, Rob?
I was gonna be like, do you need an escort, Galay?
She is gonna shake her head and say, "No, I'm gonna accompany Old Man Practice. Once he finishes boarding up the outside of the shop, and when he makes his way southward, I'll just find some place to stay in the center of the city. Besides, if anyone messes with me, I know plenty of people to hire to get back at them."
Mm-hmm. No.
Silver's just kind of giving her a half grin. 50 gold.
She'd pay a retainer fee if she had more gold on her. But that is something she's gonna take note of. And she's
they will remember this.
Yeah, she's gonna look and say, "If I ever need your services, I'll keep that price in mind."
Well, I do gotta test out that or that great axe I bought from you guys. Finally got enough training that I can actually wield it properly.
Well, if you know where to find us. Well, do you know where to find us? Considering that the Calkin house is boarded up.
She is gonna shake her head and say, "No, I have my ways around the city, though." And she's gonna look at you and say, "You can always make my job easier, though."
If you can get word to the Nakart Keep or Zenith Rise, it's most likely where we'll be during all of this. I feel like it's well known that I'm a fucking, a knight of the magnate, so saying, hey, the castle, it's not weird.
Yeah.
Kind of weird in the context of who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they let me in the castle, so...
At this point, Cinder raises her eyebrows and says, "You have connections with the Nakarts and the Magnates?"
We're knights of the magnate.
And allied with the Nakarts at the moment.
She's confused a little bit as to why you're here talking with Galay if you have these high connections, but shrugs it off as weird things that happen.
Why that's true is a long, complicated story you can watch on Brandon's YouTube channel.
Long story short, when the magnate, not Marcus, his father, was killed, we saved Marcus from the assassin and the abomination that was in the tower, and we were knighted for it.
Before that, they were dirty criminals locked inside a jail cell.
Dirty, dirty criminals.
Cinder nods appreciatively as to how people can gain a good reputation while still doing shady dealings.
So if you need a connection, if you need a connection or two in the castle, we can probably arrange that. And if you're any good with a weapon, we could probably use that too, given the current climate of things.
Cinder thinks for a moment. If old Jamai ever makes an appearance there, that might be an option. To consider the reasons for him to leave this earth, this existence.
Galay is going to add on and say, "Oh, he's always there. He lives in the castle."
Cinder says, "Then I shall probably communicate with you as to getting access to his chambers."
It could be arranged.
Might not be something we want to particularly look into at the moment, considering the whole, Civil War thing going on.
Well,
Cinder
we may have to...
That's the perfect time for it. There's so much turmoil that people will hardly notice when another person dies.
He makes a really... She makes a point.
But if they're a high council member, that's still going to go noticed pretty quickly.
True, so still getting stabbed in the middle of the night, despite the climate, might be strange, but...
Once again, Galay adds on, the head court mage isn't a high council member. He has no political authority except for the mages he allows in the court. And she shrugs and says, just an advisor. In magical matters.
How are Thalin and Barty handling this conversation, by the way?
Very indifferent. I'm just ready to focus on the bigger issues that are waiting on us outside the gates.
Anyways.
Yeah, Brody's fine. He was there when the last guy was killed, so.
Anyways, we'll find an opportunity. It shouldn't be hard to find a time to strike. So the long con may be shorter than you think. Anyways.
Just blame it on the bad guy.
Anyways,
an assassin.
But anyways, It's good to. It's always good to have more help. But we should probably start preparing for this accursed siege.
Yeah, bringing me back to my original point. Glay, get the fuck out.
She's all packed up.
Yeah. She's gonna wave her hand and say, "You don't have to tell me anymore." And she's gonna start moving towards the door.
As she passes me, I'd like to try to nab her bag of gold.
All right, roll me a sleight of hand check.
That's going to be a D20, and then add my sleight of hand modifier.
Yes. You can. Oh, we didn't talk about this. I'm gonna open up your sheet right now.
Yeah.
If you look at your skill proficiencies, they kind of highlight themselves as you push over them, or as you mouse over them. You can click them, and it will make a check for you and automatically roll it. All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, your
That doesn't even beat his passive 12 versus passive perception.
yeah.
Doesn't pass mine either, which is impressive.
I have a +6. I rolled a 7.
As Galave walks by, and you're going to make a move kind of for this coin purse that she was jingling in front of everybody, and she's going to place her hand on her hip, stepping aside, and say, "Hey, hands to yourself! I sell information."
Cinder raises her hands and says, "Sorry, the habit."
She looks at well, she doesn't really look at anybody, but just stepping out of the building, she shakes her head and say, "Criminals, the nerve!" As herself a criminal had the nerve to extort people.
Anderson, I think you taught that girl too well.
Don't look at me. Blame Fractus.
Cinder,
I'm not very persuasive, I'm more stabby.
Cinder, grinning, looks at the rest of the party and says, "Well, I'm going to be off to Eileen and see if I can find some more information about this person that I'm looking for." And she nods to the group.
Who are you looking for?
Evidently a man named Eric Evergold. He has something of mine, and I have come to retrieve it, and possibly his head.
Hey, Fallen.
Yes, sir.
How about you give me one of those intelligence saves, DC 3.
Oh boy.
That's basically a 1 check, just to roll 1.
Nailed it.
At the mention of that name, lightning strike is going to hit your heart. That is one of the people that betrayed you for dead.
I was like, that name sounds so familiar. Which character is it? I thought it was an NPC. I was racking my brain here. I was like, I've heard that name before. Who is that? Why do we know that name? Well, you guys will see me. My head will turn towards her really quickly and just say, I'm not going to say anything. I just say, well, I don't know how to respond to this.
Kill him good. Kill him real good for me.
Wait a second. What did you just say? Who are you meeting?
His name is Eric Evergold. Don't know much about him other than his name, and that he might be an Eileen. He was trying to pawn something of mine that he stole from me back over in... Alright,
I've heard enough. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going with you.
She's questioning and says, "Do you know this guy?"
Alright, well, I haven't really told anybody about this. You guys never asked, and I didn't really share, but whenever I first joined the Calkin, I kind of mentioned I was, on the streets, surviving, trying to get by however I could. Well, Mr. Evergold there was an old adventuring buddy of mine. Me and several others took to this life a few years back, and they kind of took offense to some of my methods and my outlook on the world. And one day we were camping on the base of a mountain somewhere. They took everything I owned, left me in my underwear, and left me to die, basically. I hiked for several days, found a road, collapsed. Some merchant brought me back into town, and this is where I've been ever since. So I would love to run into these guys again.
Cinder gleefully rubs her hands together and says, "Ooh, that sounds just like the man I'm looking for." I was
I'm going
living
with you.
in... I don't know what it's called. What's the continent that I'm from called?
Galkin?
Galkin? Yeah. I'm from Galkin, and I used to work there, and one night, after, you celebrate a good day's work, or in my case, a good night's work, and I woke up and, had the normal hangover, but then I noticed that something was missing on mine. And I don't have a lot in this world that I prize other than gold, but if it's one thing that you don't touch of mine, you don't touch my family amulet. And it was missing. I've tracked it far and wide, led me all the way north, and then eventually into here. Just rumors. I've heard rumors about an amulet, and eventually it's led me to Galay, and I'm just now finding out that this man has it. So I'm looking for just as much revenge as you are.
Yeah, I'm going with you 100%. Anybody else wants to come, we might need a little backup.
How many men did you say he had with him?
Well, at the time, whenever we were traveling together, there were 4 others, 5 including myself. So at least 3 others if they're all together still, maybe more, maybe fewer.
I'm fine with this, but Cinder, was it?
Yes.
I will make a proposition for you. We help you with this. Anderson seems to have some personal stake with information and abilities you might have. You help us with that.
She
Is that
narrows
agreeable
her
to you?
eyes. She narrows her eyes for a second and thinks, and says, "I think the trading of work labor should be agreeable. I don't know how long I plan on staying here, but if I can find good work that pays good money, then I think I can stay around."
How's that sit with you, Anderson?
Works for me.
All right, so
Then
oh, go ahead.
Are you down to throw down?
I'm down to throw down.
Cinder
I've
says,
fought so long, I hope I remember how to do it.
Cinder says, the first place to look will be Elaine. That's where Galay said that she had heard of this amulet being pawned or trying to be pawned by Eric.
Is Galay still outside?
She is enough that you guys can catch her. Fractus was finishing up when you guys got here, so she's just waiting on him.
Right before they take off, Celbrus is going to grab Galay. that and go to her. That amulet that you were talking to Cinder about. How long ago was the transaction last tried? Do you know?
She shrugs and says, one of my contacts saw him trying to sell it to some counselor in Aline. I was just trying to find the name of the man.
So you don't know how long ago. That's fine.
Is Cinder hearing this, I'm assuming?
Yeah, if you guys are leaving, you see Celebris, having one final discourse with Galay.
So overhearing this, I ask, which counselor was he talking to?
She goes to respond, and before she does, Fractus turns still hammering and says, "Galay, I said no business in front of me." She's going to nod and gesture for you guys to move like just a little bit away from like her and Fractus, and she's going. Say it again.
Celebris is going to help Fractus finish hammering on the boards.
It's like, who should? You know what? Let me do this. You can roll me a sleight of hand check for using the hammer, or an athletics check of just bashing these things into the wall to finish it. He's
your finger.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is just about done, and with the two of you like working on this together, like you guys get 3-4 boards up super quick in the span of probably about 50 seconds. Moving and putting the final 5th one up over the last window. He's gonna say, I'm not paying you for this.
Yeah, we're kind of using your shop as a temporary business spot. This is the least I can do for you.
Yeah. He just shakes his head and says, I don't want any bad blood with the Ruby Shadow. That's the only reason I permit it. You guys finish up, and Fractus is pretty much done.
Did I get the name of that counselor?
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. As he begins walking off, Galay is going to look to you guys and say, oh, wait, that's the wrong one. I have to go into my counselors folder for, and this is one of the things I told you. There's 10,000 NPCs here. All right. She is going to say it's a counselor by the name of Kaisel. A short, small half of a man.
I'm hearing a lot of static from Celebris.
Anthony, your mic's giving a lot of feedback.
Sorry, is that any better or no?
Okay, hold on, let's see. Yeah, that's a lot better.
I think I was just hitting the cord and it was bouncing back to you guys. If it's still doing it, I can take the headset out. Do it on my phone.
That's better now.
Yeah, you're good now. Cinder. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cinder says to the group, I think we should talk to this counselor Kaisel first. He should be a little easier to find than this Eric guy.
If you guys want to try and find him, you guys can roll a history check on his name. You guys have met him before. You can assume shenanigans about him. But tell me what you guys want to do. Alrighty.
I don't know him, so.
Yeah, not going to be hard for Celebris. He was on the military council. He was one of the people speaking at Ariana's confirmation. You have seen him within the castle today, as Ariana has been talking with various members of the different military branches of the... Or you've seen him inside the palace, as Ariana's been talking with different members of the military council and commanding forces of the Royal Army. Strategizing with all of them.
That might be... Well, I can tell you exactly where he is, but I don't think it'll be too easy to actually contact him at the moment. He's kind of head of part of one of the branches, and they're basically going over military strategies all day at the moment. So trying to get an audience with him right now would probably be difficult.
Cinder says, "That's okay. I'd rather stay out of the peripheral of people in power as much as possible. Better for business."
Yeah. You guys do know Ariana likes you. You guys have went to talk to her, 3 times today, and each time she stopped what she's doing to talk to you.
Yeah, I tried really hard to try and ruin that good faith. So doing all...
Yeah, but bringing in an outsider for something like this seems like kind of bad.
I don't fully support it, to be honest. The woman's tense. And she expects absolute loyalty.
Yeah. This could be seen as a breach of confidence and her trust. Basically using her influence for personal gain like this. It shouldn't be too hard to find someone if they're not from the city. There can't be that many taverns in that part of town, or inns. You'd have to be staying somewhere.
So this group hasn't really ventured much into Aline. But
I assume.
Yeah, Aline itself, and this is just general knowings about the world that you guys would have, is where most foreigners who reside in the capital decide to stay. It is an area filled with markets and bazaars, and lots of people traveling in and out of the capital breeze in and out of Aline.
Cinder says,
"Oh, go ahead.
Was there more information?
Oh, I was just going to say the east of the country is where, trading happens most, up in things being imported into the river would be, straight into Aline."
Right. Cinder says, do you have a name of a tavern that she would be staying in Aline? That I could say.
Let me look real quick, because it's been forever since I've literally, the parties never go into Aline. I can roll one up, because all the taverns are in the city proper that everybody's been to.
I thought we were in Aline when I started to try to rough people up to get Dagger Dude.
I was gonna say, the last time I remember I was ever in Aline with a character, I wasn't even there. It was Dirge was trying to feed himself.
No, with Dagger Dude, just for both of you guys, for Dirge and Dagger Dude, this area of Maiden's Watch is a tiered city. So this whole part of the city is kind of elevated. Let me circle it in a different, color. I'm going to circle in red. This whole part of the city is elevated, and the other green circle that I have there is kind of like the lower part of the city. That's where all of the docks and warehouses are, and kind of in between Maiden's Watch and the city proper. Dagger Dude was at the Silver Dagger Tavern in Maiden's Watch. Also, Dirge was, doing work on the docks over there. I'm just noticing more notes and stuff I have on here. So Mia is an outer sphere, and we're gonna call it the Dark Falcon. And that is the tavern you're staying at?
Dark Falcon?
Yes.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the Singing Falcon or the Magnate's Falcon. There are two other popular taverns inside of town.
A lot of falcons.
Yes, falcons are very popular in Ardor.
You're Miss Wendy.
Headed to Aline, you guys do pass through the Palace District.
While there, Cinder noticeably tries to be less noticed by people around there.
Alrighty. That's a very hard ordeal, as the only people moving through the streets at this point are entire bands of soldiers. Some,
Well,
100.
She just tends to stay like in the middle of the group and be hidden by everyone around her that is taller than her.
Behind the 7'4" barbarian.
Yeah, that works well with this group.
I'm only 5'8", so.
So, you guys could pit stop. It's not unreasonable. Otherwise, you can head straight towards Aline.
Do we want to see if we can find anything out from any of the taverns on our way to Aline?
Do we pass any on the way to Aline? Like on the eastern side of the Palace District?
Yeah, you guys, not on the eastern, but just areas that are, not terribly outside of your, path. There are going to be plenty of different taverns and inns that you could stop at. I was saying you guys could pit stop at the palace if you wanted to. You guys are passing that, headed to Aline.
What do we do in the palace? I like our current magnate, so...
As we're walking, Celebrus is going to look at Anderson and say, me and Fallon were able to convince Anadelia to hold back on taking Storm's Nest for at least a day.
And see, I think I might have smoothed that all over.
I think we smoothed some things over with her too.
I convinced to a degree to have Ariana put Anadelia on the High Council.
With my chantry?
Yep.
Sorry, Lance. Speaking of which, has anyone seen him today?
I don't really care.
Who's
He's a
Lance?
lovely kid, but he's kind of an asshole, so... So we should probably check on him at some point. Also, we keep leaving Johan behind.
Well, to be fair, he is watching over, you-know-who.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want Johan child rearing. He'll teach her all the wrong value.
No, I think you got that one backwards, Anderson.
Yep,
Out of all of us,
believe.
I think... out of all of us, I think he's probably the most fit to handle child care.
Fair.
Especially considering, do you think he wants you teaching his apprentice anything?
I am a well of knowledge, Celebus.
Celebus chuckles and taps, or patting Anderson on the back. Yeah, and wells go dry once in a while, my friend.
Anyways. I mean, we can start asking around. Like I said, I'm not very persuasive. You know, unless there's a ledge you want me to dangle somebody over.
I'm pretty convincing, so if you need any talking done, I can take care of that for you.
I'm pretty much here for when things,
Inevitably go wrong?
Yeah, when things go wrong. You know, when we have to, cross a bridge when we come to it.
Cinder says, "Thanks, but I can handle asking around on my own terms. I'm pretty persuasive when it comes to it myself."
Which is fair. It's also your heirloom. It was.
Yeah,
So,
this is your...
and a family amulet. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, so everybody knows, the Eric guy, he's a little halfling bard, and he's got a huge personality, very loud, so there's no mistaking when you see him. So that's the target.
This is your and Thalin's venture, so just think of me as the muscle.
Say it again.
So this is yours and Cinder's show, Thalin. Just think of me as your muscle.
Alrighty. Yeah, if it does come to blows, it will be a closely matched fight. That's for sure.
Do we want to investigate several of the inns along the way through the Palace District? See if we can find any clues as to if he's there.
That sounds like a good plan, if you think it'll work.
Yeah, I haven't been looking for him. I had no reason. Figure they don't want me around anyways, and wasn't going to take them on by myself. So, just kind of let it, water under the bridge, as they say. Yeah, they shouldn't be hard to find if we want to go looking for them. They're pretty boisterous, make their presence known, like to party when they get some treasure, so... Yeah, if we go looking for them, I'm sure we'll find them.
So I'm assuming we head to the nearest tavern.
Okay, in the Palace District or in the Lean?
Palace District. We're still passing through, I think.
Okay. You guys are... the nearest one to you is going to be... it's going to be one called the Magnate's Falcon. And this place is... it's just north of the Chantries, northeast of the Chantries, and just west of the council buildings. The tavern itself is going to be a little bit, packed with people in here. However, the thing that's going to be very apparent to it is you guys are going to notice part of the building is in repair, particularly the back half of it has been broken in, and it has been broken in, and there's scaffolding and everything laid here to fix it.
I think I know where this place is. I think I know what did that damage.
Regardless, you guys are able to go inside. This area is mostly for this is more of an inn than a tavern, and the area down here is more so for dining and small groups, just getting together and talking. And a huge amount of space in like this 3-story building is devoted to rooms and upper floors. Stepping into this area, of course, in every tavern and inn inside of Ardersarai, the first apparent thing is going to be the small library of books by the door. And there's going to be a symbol of the Four Ascended above it. And just past this reading area is going to be where the tavern keep is, behind a bar. And looking straightforward further down into here, there is a whole lounge that is only lit by hearthfire, and it is filled with people just chattering and talking amongst themselves. Anybody with over a 14 for passive perception is going to notice that about 50% of the people in this tavern are wearing slaves' collars.
Question.
Yes.
What if you have a 14?
Yeah. 14 is gonna hit it.
Are these all the same type of collars, or they look like different designs by different owners?
Well, there's a gosh, what's that thing? There is a, not council, but an organization that handles manufacturing and distributing these. They're all similar, but, every slave collar mostly looks the same.
You could, pick up the slave collar at, the local Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
Do I see anyone wearing an amulet that looks like mine?
Roll me a perception check.
Celebris is just kind of rubbing his neck seeing all this.
Yeah.
This is an inn. There are people. They might have necklaces.
Yeah, looking around, obviously none of the slaves are wearing it who all have, bare necks, but, you do see some wealthy individuals, wealthy merchants and stuff. From what you can tell, it's way too dark in here to, glean any of that.
Brandon, with my passive, with my passive as a 17, do I see anyone that looks like what Thala described as this person?
As Eric, no, you do not. Not with the 17.
Can I make a perception check to see if I see anybody?
Yeah, I want to roll and see if I can see him in here.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Yeah, just looking around.
Nope.
There's some familiar faces to you guys here, but who you're looking for, no.
Can I go up? There's a bar, right?
Yeah.
I want to go up to the bartender and describe the party and see if he's seen him come through or anything, if he knows anything about him.
Give me 1 second. Let's go with that. That seems pretty fair. So, going to the bartender, and by the way, Celebris does see people he recognizes. He doesn't see a description of anybody that Thalin was looking for.
Who do I see that I recognize?
People from Lethalia's party. Particularly nobles and particularly nobles that were at the gathering on the 19th of Priestess.
I wanted to ask about. So you said the back area seemed to have been damaged.
Yes.
I wanted to ask about that.
Okay.
Celebris, son of a bitch.
Celebris sees Joseph Fifth.
Oh man!
Fifth telling a story to a enamored group of individuals listening.
Celebris is gonna elbow looked Anderson in the side.
What?
One of the Twilight.
I would like to. I was like, I wanted to note real quick that like Father A was off doing his own business, lying to a Risen member, becoming best buds with Ray Chia, finding out Stormier's not dead, while you guys met Joseph. So that's not a familiar face to me.
One of the Twilight Fang is here.
I mean, do you want me to stab him to death in the middle of a tavern?
No, but I think this would be a good thing to report to Letharia.
Wait, so there's gonna be a quick click of, wait a minute, he's here. Slave callers. I don't think he's the only one.
Yeah, now I'm actually gonna do a full perception to see if I see like Draylin or anything.
Oh yeah, you guys have met Draylin before. You haven't met his other accomplices. Yeah, you can go for it.
Good. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, that straight 17.
That's a performance, not a perception. Sorry, I'm on my phone and it's hard to hit buttons.
What's your perception modifier?
It's a +7, so
that would have been 22.
Yeah, if you want to make that a 22, I can re-roll it.
22. You're not going to notice Draylin, but it's very hard to pick her out originally, and because of how much of a scene she's making, there is a group of people gathered around one of these slaves who is dancing, and these people are mostly slaves. And she's completely in a circle, but just through the side-to-side glance of her moving between these people, you see Lil Fear Madison entertaining a group of people here. You do know she's in service to Draylin, but you don't see Draylin.
Yeah, because I just saw her last night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna nudge Anderson again.
Yeah?
We should get out of here. That slave that picked up the package last night at the Kelkin office for Draylin is here.
Yeah, so between her and the other one
of his... Yeah, we need to get out of here.
Cinder pipes up. I want to ask the barkeep a question real quick first. You guys can head out, but I'll catch up with you guys.
You can ask him. I'm, looking for my notes on him.
I still want to know about what happened to this. Basically, I'll, like, pipe over to the celebrants. It's like, look, I want to know why this place is busted up, and then we can leave. Look, they're smart. They're not going to attack Knights of the Magnate in the middle of the Palace District during a civil war.
Yeah, you can ask the tavern keep. He's just occasionally sending people to the back room that's being worked on, and they're returning with supplies, drink, and food. As you guys get to the bar, he's going to look at each of you and a smile on his face, and say, welcome to the Magnate's Falcon, finest place to stay in all the town. Don't mind the back, just had a small scuffle here last month.
Cinder says, yeah, looks like you had a bit of trouble. Hope you get that all done. We're just looking for information about a guy that may have come through here trying to sell an amulet. Do you know of this guy at all? Have you seen anything?
I'll describe what he looks like.
Yeah.
He is going to... You're going to see him just kind of furrow his eyebrows as he's thinking and say, a lot of people come through here daily, but Lord Madison's been renting this place out for quite a while. Since he's been here, a lot of the merchants have stopped coming by trying to peddle their smaller goods. Haven't seen them.
I realize that this is probably not the place that Eric would be at, and I walked out saying, "Thank you for your time and information."
I want to ask the bartender, say he's going to be in a group of maybe 3, 4, or 5 other adventurers. They like to party and drink and celebrate. You have anywhere they might have gone? Any idea of any other places that cater to those type of folk?
He is gonna say, the Silver Dagger Tavern. It's really quite a low quality place, but more so Tayek over at the Lucky Lass. She handles pretty much the most rambunctious, richest individuals that come to town.
What was the name of that place again, and where is it?
Lucky Lass. It's he points westward and says it's in the Palace District. You folks better be finding someplace to hunker down, though. Those bells ringing for the past couple days never meant good news. Army outside on our borders, too. Probably not safe to be venturing through the streets.
Alright, thanks. I think we have accommodations arranged already. I appreciate your help.
He nods. Anybody still watching, Lilfear has definitely noticed you guys.
So, I'm gonna look for the rest of the party, or are they, like, heading towards the door?
Cinder left. Rest of the party?
Yeah, if Thalen's done and turning around, Celebris would be too.
I'll make my way over towards them.
Golgray might give sort of that patented, stone cold stare over to Lilfear, and then he'd leave.
Yeah, I'll tell them Lucky Lass might be a place to check out. It's to the west in the Palace District.
Can you mark on the map where Lucky Lass is?
Yes, I can. Deleting everything else.
Also, where we are currently, if you don't mind.
You guys are just by the chantries, and let me not use the then. We're gonna go with that. You guys are just by the chantries and council offices. The Lucky Lass is on the concourse to the palace.
Oh boy! Ooh.
What time of day is it right now?
It is moving into late afternoon. And do you guys continue towards Aline, or do you head back to the Lucky Lass?
I'm indifferent.
I'm gonna head back, because Cinder is staying in Aline, so she can investigate it later. She's staying there overnight. But she's gonna go ahead and go over to the Lucky Lass right now. That's what she wants to do.
Alrighty.
I don't know what the rest of the party wants to do, but that's what she's gonna do.
For, let's see, today's the 23rd, 22nd, the 21st, Marcus was killed. For the second time in 3 days, you guys hear the panic bells of the keep ringing over the city. They start ringing for about a minute before the different other towers placed throughout the city start echoing their calls.
God,
fuck! What now?
Father A is not going to hesitate. He's going.
Yep. Celebris is heading straight for the castle.
Yes,
Cinder asks real quick what's happening.
We don't know. That's the problem.
It's like, Father Aaron, like, as he like behind him, it's just like, bells mean bad.
You guys are going to get to the castle, and I'm going to spare you lots of investigating, persuasion, and by the time you get inside of the castle and find out what's going on, there has been another assassination inside the castle. Apparently, whoever they caught was not the assassin that's been responsible for all these. The High General of Arms is dead.
Who is that again?
Nobody important.
He is I just gonna move him to deceased.
You said they captured the assassin, right?
No, they have not captured the. Oh wait. No, that's the information you guys find out. There's been an assassination. The High General of Arms is dead. That's all you guys know. His name is wait, there we go. Oh, I never put a picture for him. My bad. Orlor Stradrew.
They have the worst guards at this castle. Jesus.
During this time, Cinder is not in the castle. She's waiting in the concourse for the rest of the party because she does not want to get into a fight alone versus 4 people. If she finds them. But she also does not feel welcome into the castle at this point.
With the magnates, with the magnates men, they would have welcomed you inside. But with that, we'll say the party's in the grand vestibule, learning of this news.
Is the magnate okay?
The person you're talking to is going to say, yes, she's, or wait, actually, is he gonna know? He's going to, he's gonna look up towards and say, it's just my job to protect the lower quarters down here. The upper floor of the Magnate's men should have been able to take out the attackers. The assassin was smuggled in with the diplomats, or with the envoy from the Renalpaw army.
Do we know who the assassin was?
Let's see if this guy knows, because once again, this is just like, what's grabbing some random guy, and it's like, what's going on? It's like, there's been an assassination, dude. This guy's dead. I don't know. He's gonna shake his head, and he's just like, I'm just an archer on the portcullis. I'm going to my station. I just gotta go grab my crossbow.
We're wasting our time.
He rolled a 4 on his history check. He does not know.
Ouch.
They're just like, hey, man the gate. All right, yes, sir.
Anderson, when this is all done, I think we need to have a visit with our friend.
You're gonna have to be way more specific.
The one that Glay told us where they were.
Yeah, we may or may not have to do that. But first,
Let's go check on Ariana.
All right.
We'll go finish what we were started.
Going to find Ariana. You guys find her on the second floor of the diplomat's quarters. There are 4 knights in front of this room. 5 people are currently being are currently being led out of this room, down past you guys in handcuffs, or rather in manacles. You can see there is, among them, there are insignias of the rental paws and of mountain wardens. Stepping into the room.
Jesus, what the hell did she do now?
There, stepping into the room, there is a dead body that clerics are tending to, and there are two more people manacled. As you guys come in, Ariana is kind of breathing heavy. Tarum is at her side. He is just kind of watching towards the door. She turns, looking at you guys entering into the room, and says, "Well, that was opportunistic."
I take it they tried to assassinate you by using this parlay as cover.
The one of the two men in manacles is going to say, "I'm telling you, we don't know who he was. He wasn't with us." Ariana is going to hold up her hand and say, "Silence, unless you want to end up like your companion." She's going to look and say, "No, they didn't attack me, but it's awfully convenient that the assassination happened right as we let them into the castle and began our talks."
Silvers is going to look at the body on the table.
Is there a body on the table?
No, it's on the ground. It is one of the... it's another member of the group of envoys.
So, like, is it, like... I mean, I guess I should roll, like, a perception or an investigation check.
I'm telling you guys what you see on your passive. Like,
well, I was just curious, like, is it are they human? Elf?
Yeah, most mountain wardens are human. Most people who live north of the capital are human. That's pretty much like the biggest concentration of humans in the world. But yes, it is.
Yeah, I'll actually do a full investigation, because...
Do mountain wardens have any, like, identifying marks? I mean, they're wearing clothes, I think, that indicate that, but, like, I don't know.
Nope, I know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Do wardens... Do, like, mountain wardens get, like, cool, like, bro tats?
Yeah, some of them would have tattoos, specifically the keepers. Yeah, this guy is a keeper. Celebris isn't going to get anything inspecting it, but as you kneel down and you started like asking like what's going on, Tarum is going to like speak up before you can get any sort of distance into your investigation on this body. And he's going to say a servant bursted into the room, claimed that the High Lord of Arms was dead, and somebody murdered him. The alarms were sounded. This man drew his weapons. The magnate's safety was compromised, and I slew him. The man in manacles is going to say he's afraid because we're in enemy strong. Again, Ariana holds up her hand and says, "Silence."
I hate to say this, Ariana. And I'm saying this for the sheer fact, looking over at the other two. Can I roll an insight on them saying they were involved?
Yeah, you can.
Like them claiming they have no idea what's going on? God damn.
I'll throw an insight check in there.
You can help him if you'd like and give him advantage on it.
No, because he rolled a 9. I rolled a 20. I rolled a 12.
Well, yeah, if you don't have advantage on the check, when you first make it, I'm just taking the first one of your rolls, and if you gain advantage before I tell you the result, I always ask you guys to re-roll. But on a 20, looking at these guys, they don't look totally free of guilt. It doesn't. You're going to sense some earnestness, but there's a reason why they. I guess it's murky. It's gray waters. You sense they're telling the truth, but also you feel that there's probably more to the story than that.
Wait, so who did the guy say he slew?
One of the leaders of the Renalpaw army.
Are we sure that this is the assassin?
No, it's not the assassin.
Who was the guy in the mantle?
Yeah, this is just a... and so the situation, from what you guys know, Ariana was in council with these people. From what Taram told you, somebody, a servant, rushed into the room and said the High General of Arms has been killed. They sounded the alarms in the castle. When they did, this man drew his sword, and Taram killed him instantly.
So was the general by himself at the time?
Oh, who are you asking?
No, I'm just okay, was anybody with the general when he was killed? Did anybody see the assassin?
Ariana is going to say one of the culprits was caught.
How many were there?
She's gonna look over, turning back to you and say, I believe 2, from what we've been able to gather.
Where is this culprit?
She's gonna say, I'm going to send him to Storm's Nest. Currently he's in my dungeons below.
Would you mind if we talk to them before you send them away?
We're very persuasive.
Yeah.
When it comes
she's going to nod and say, escort these 2 down there. Also, my brother ran through most of our finances, so we don't have the security we need to keep this entire floor of diplomats safe.
Yeah, all those stupid swords.
I would say a suggestion is all of your high-ranking officials of your trusted inner circle, they should have guards at all time, at least one. I mean, it might be expensive, but if you keep losing generals or your own life, this whole city's gonna fall.
With
Ariana's gonna look with you at you with an expression that just is painted all over her face of just like, yes, I am very aware of this, and she's going to look to Father A and then just put on as much of a smile as she can muster and say, yes, thank you for your advice.
I'm gonna keep beating a dead horse here. This is 2 assassinations in 3 days. This is a disaster.
Like, I really don't want to be in this room right now because of the last assassination. I need to avoid deception checks as much as humanly possible.
You just need to increase your security.
Well, at least we can trust everybody in this room.
Yeah.
How do you have 2 assassinations in 3 days? 2 people have been killed in the last 3 days. What is going on here? Walk away.
I don't want to keep our new friend waiting too long, but this seems like it's important, so...
I mean, I can handle the... If you want, I can handle the questioning.
No, I'll take care of that. You guys want to...
I'm pretty intimidating. I can maybe help get some things out of him.
Celebris pulls his great axe off his back. I got the intimidation factor down.
I mean, we were pretty good with that, Alilinagy in general. You know, on second thought, I should go with Cinder.
I mean, if you want to stay here with me, Thalanda, I would appreciate the backup.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Party.
I'm gonna go.
Father A will, begin to leave, and then turn to Ariana. I wonder if I would be more useful here, Magnate Bertolf.
In, this room?
Well, just in general. Oh, sorry, so it's... you know, as extra security, I'm, for
she is, going to look towards, Taram and say, I trust him, with more than, just my life. He is, by far one of the, greatest, companions I've had. I am fine in his care. Thank you.
Yes, but I mean, I also meant in general, you know, if there was anybody else that needed extra security, just somebody to pace the grounds. I have come to agree with your assessment of Taram. So I don't know. I doubt I need to be very close. But well, you weren't the one that died today.
Surprisingly, she is going on to say, well, we've had to cut security where we can. Those who are capable of defending themselves have been where we've removed knights from. You're welcome to guard any of those quarters.
I'll see where I can be most useful.
Ariana is, kind of looking at you before her attention falls on the body on the floor. She closes her eyes and turns around and starts facing out the window again.
As Celebris is kind of ushering the two guys in manacles out, he's going to turn back around to her and go, don't give up on the opportunity of peace for this. Once we get this all straightened out, and if they are innocent, I could still see this being a workable situation.
What are we going to do with this corpse?
It's being tended to. That's something else that has to go on the funeral. You guys still haven't even had Marcus's funeral yet.
Well, I meant, there's a dead rando. What do we do with the rando corpse?
That's what he's saying about the corpse.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Why do we give funerals to dead randos? He's a rando.
This person is one of the logistics officers in charge of the enemy army. They're not just random person.
Well, then I suggest I find a catapult and I give him back.
I think they would take that as an act of aggression.
Yeah, I don't think I think we're all. Do we need to have a refresher course on exactly how I handle war strategy? We win when they're all dead.
Okay, there is something I do need to know. Which group is Bartholomew going with?
I am going with The
reason I was saying Thalin go with Cinder is because that's more invested in his personal story than this is.
I don't think we'll be down there that long. I mean,
Yeah.
I was gonna go to the dungeons in question.
Going to the dungeons? Okay, that's great. Father A, who's he going to protect?
I mean, who are my options?
Asking...
Also, I'm not convinced I may or may not need to stay behind and do more of my patented fatherly guidance. Given this woman is in no position to be prepared for the death that she has to bring.
Talking to, or rather just, asking around in general, the specific areas that have had their security removed, there are no longer knights stationed at the barracks or the stables. There are no longer knights stationed in the entertainers' quarters. There's no longer knights stationed in the mages' quarters, and there's no longer knights stationed in the sages' quarters.
You said mages' quarters?
I did. That's why I started laughing. I'm just like, is there anything I can help? There are no longer knights at the mages' quarter. It's just like, I will mosey on over there and protect some people.
What do you know? Somebody in need of my protection. Well, no, I mean, is there any place that's, like, obvious when it comes to, like, I guess, like, can you tell me, like, who would be considered, like, high priority? Like, in terms of, if this person suddenly gets stabbed in the heart, that's bad, / where, like, somebody would try to sneak in at?
Well,
the mages' quarters.
Yeah, I was about to say, the entertainers, less important than the court mages. The barracks, I mean, the captain is pretty important, but he's, he himself is capable of defending himself. Oh, the stables, I mean, you don't want the stable boy dying who, well, I guess that's less important.
Hey now.
Yeah, the sage, the sage is pretty... Well, no, this sage is kind of redundant, inside of this tower. This is the magnate's personal sage. The city sage, Anna Astel, is, Arter's, sage, who can handle, all the responsibilities of this person. So yeah, pretty much the most important people would, and well, to a lesser extent too, all of these people are kind of redundant because Arter doesn't put any stock in its court mages. They're kind of more of a afterthought, as like a formality of like, oh, I guess we need these people. But how long have you guys been here, and how many times have you needed to call on them?
I mean, so from the sounds of it, I either go protect the sage or commit a crime.
I mean, the bells are already ringing. But I'll, you tell me what that decision is, and then we'll, or you think on that decision, tell me if you, make it, but we're gonna go to the rest of the party.
Oh, I'll go protect the sage.
Okay. The rest of the party. You guys, lead these, two guys into the dungeon. As soon as, you get out of, Ariana's, her, meeting room, and start leading these guys, down to the magnate's personal dungeons, they're going to, once again start talking to you and say, I'm telling you, we don't know who that person was. We sent our one to the service, and the next thing we know, the High Lord of Arms is, dead. The second person wasn't with us, but the kid was.
Wait, what now?
He repeats himself, saying exactly what he just said again.
You sent someone somewhere.
He says one to the service. It's a tradition in Ardor, or in Ardor Serai. If you're going to war with another, you give the enemy general one squire from your own ranks. In return, they do the same. It ensures the war is fought on terms that can be agreed upon. And he looks and says, "We sent our one to the service, not two." You guys can say "silence, prisoner" if you'd like. If anybody's talking, I don't hear anyone. God, this is terrifying.
I kind of wish that I was there now.
Okay, well, it's good to know I didn't disconnect. Yeah, you guys take them down to the dungeons. And these are a series of 9 personal rooms. Each room can, feasibly house or, jail 4 different people. Yeah, you guys can lock up these two. One of the assassins that is caught, actually, back in Father A's cell that he was locked in, is a kid.
How old?
You guys are able, and I just want to describe the scene a little bit more, just in case crimes happen. These rooms are each, large wooden door closes. Inside the room is, iron cell. This whole dungeon can be ran by just a handful of people. There are only 3 guards down here, primarily protecting the entrance in the center area where, all these wooden doors are. Entering into the cell, to see the prisoner, and, look at him, behind the bars. The kid doesn't look any older than 15. Oh, he disconnected.
Oh, sorry about that. My Discord just decided to go boom.
Yeah, Derek asked a question and then went out. What's the last thing you heard?
They were saying they had nothing to do with it, and they had just done their one for the one or whatever.
Oh,
started talking.
One for the server.
Then I realized, yeah, one for the server, and I realized, I got bumped.
Yeah, I did not hear anything you said. You can go ahead and repeat any of that.
I was saying, look, I understand that you might not be involved in this, but you need to understand the circumstances we're under. You show up and one of our top officers is murdered. It doesn't look good. And I'm hoping that once this is resolved, we can find a more peaceful way to resolve this than actual war. But you need to understand this is why we have to keep you in containment until this is all taken care
of. At you saying that, of course they're going to comply, as the alternative is fight and either risk execution or something like that. So you are able to lead them down to the basement, place them in the cells. I'm going to give you a description of the cells again, just in, as Derek's reconnecting. It is a series of 9 large wooden doors. This is the area where Father A and Meat were held when they were, put in the Magnate's dungeon. Each of these rooms is a... each of these rooms is... I wonder real quick if I should do this. No, I don't want to do that. Each of these rooms is a private cell, with each cell inside of the room being large enough to hold 4 people. There's an area, inside the room where you can talk to each prisoner and occupy the room. The whole dungeon itself can be manned by about 3 people guarding the door and the central area, and then just 1 more extra person for muscle if need be. You guys are able to lock these 2 in a room. In total, there's 7 people occupying the cells down here. You go to the one with the assassin, and I say assassin with quotation marks in it. It is a kid. He looks no older than 15.
This is the potential assassin?
Yes. As you guys step in and start looking over him, he is gonna say, "I wasn't the one who killed him. It was the other guy."
Stillburst is gonna roll an insight. I'm gonna roll an insight. If I'm not rolling other things because my phone's being trippy.
I mean, this kid is kind of panicked, and just immediately, going to the bars and face to him, saying anything to you. I mean, for the most part, you believe him. Also, too, though, there's a reason why he's behind the bars.
Who was the other guy?
Other guy is, hold on, let me say, well, yeah, I was gonna say, but anyways, yeah, the other guy, he's, going to say, man, he had grain black hair. He was there to, escort me and give me, guidance on the matter. He got into an argument. Then he stabbed the High General, killed him on the spot. I screamed.
Celebris is going to go to one of the other prisoners and go, "Is this your scribe for the transfer?"
You're going to have to, walk out and into a different cell. He's in a cell alone. But yeah, going and asking one of the other ones about the kid. Yeah, they tell you, yeah, his name's Weston. He's our one we sent to the service.
gonna ask him who hired you to kill the guy.
Again, he's gonna break down and start crying and say, I didn't kill him. I didn't.
Who hired you?
Bartholomew knows there is definitely something about Barty's words that hit this kid. He does not feel like the kid's being entirely truthful with him.
Yeah.
That's what a nat 1 on a deception check looks like, guys.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna say more firmly, who hired you?
And he's going to say, nobody hired me.
Cerberus comes back into the cell with Barty. So I guess we're gonna leave Thalin at the doors, watching there.
You come into Bartholomew yelling at a kid. Who hired you? I didn't kill him. I didn't. No one hired me. Oh, God.
Who hired you? Where were they taking the other drugs?
Cerberus wants to get down to basically eye level with this kid and investigate his eyes.
You're gonna need a shovel. So you can actually stand in the ground.
Yeah, Cerberus gets down on his belly to get eye level. But no, yeah, you can. Insight, tells his body language. Investigation, you can tell things about him.
Well, I'm going to investigation because I know the last time I dealt with a shapeshifter, their eyes were different.
Yeah, looking at his eyes, they looked, normal, scanning over his body. The other thing you're going to see, his clothes and his hands are stained red with blood.
For someone who wasn't involved in his murder, you attracted a lot of blood onto yourself.
He's just gonna say, I just watched the other guy do it.
Yeah, you got a lot of blood on your hands. Do you want me to remove your hands for you?
Barty, if he's got a spell casted on him, can you get rid of it?
Can I do an Arcana check?
You can.
Nice.
Oh, well that is, ooh, nat 20, looking over this guy. He's no, I'm kidding. Hold on, let me, flip to, his, page. Oh, it's the wrong character again. That's great. Alright. No, does... Actually, he does have, one magical effect on him. Barty is, going to notice, let me look this up real quick. Barty is, going to, Barty's going to notice a strange magical aura on him. Not necessarily a bad, like a curse or anything like that. Scanning over him, you're just going to be like, oh yeah, he's perfectly fine. And then, just the faintest sense of the arcane energy brushing up against that natural aura that your body's just kind of always producing. You notice just the weirdest put together magic that you've traced before, and just the slightest sense of it.
Do I know what kind of magic it is? Like what spell?
Gosh, I have to look at Xanathar's real quick, because that's the action for discerning spells. Identifying a spell, page 85. I'm not going to make you roll a second time for it, because I'm pretty sure it says just make an Arcana check and beat this. If the character perceived the casting...
Roll?
Say it again?
I'm looking at his roll. He rolled a 20 and then that one.
Yeah, he didn't have an advantage, so only the first one counts. The spell, if the characters perceive the casting, the spell's effect, or both, the character can make an intelligence arcana check or reaction or action. The DC equals 15 plus the spell's level. Yeah, so Barty is going to... You're not familiar with this, but you are going to recognize it as some weird luck magic is affecting this kid. You've seen this in the before in the Kalkin office, specifically when Reyna tried casting spells.
Okay. I am going to... Let me see. What is it? Counter spell or remove curse?
Dispel magic?
Do I have dispel magic? Let me see. Yeah, I've got dispel magic.
It's not a curse that's on him. You know the spell effect. It's the spell effect is giving him good luck.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not a curse that's on him.
I don't know what level that spell is. I'll cast it in a 4th level slot.
Roll me a ability check to dispel it.
I believe.
An ability check?
Yes, it is a D20 plus your intelligence modifier. And I believe you've got +5 to your intelligence.
Barty's so smart.
Barty is the smartest.
So we know it's higher than 4th level.
D20 plus what?
+5.
+5? My intelligence, okay.
Yeah, so just do an intelligence check.
Just do an intelligence check?
Yes. Believe! 17 is not going to beat the spell.
What? Jesus!
Well, wait. It says for dispel
that means
magic.
It's an 18. It means it's an 8th level or a 9th level spell.
No, it means it's a. Yeah, no, he's right.
Yes.
No, it could be a 5th. Oh no, the DC would be high enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the DC is 10 plus the spell's level. So. Damn.
Man, either that is just some intense woven magic, or man, do I need to talk to Reyna?
Yeah, you try and dispel this magic off of him. He's gonna like raise his hands, squinting and putting them in front of his face. And the dispel magic, this arcane energy is gonna like extend around you as as a mist envelops him, and it is unable to break this magical aura affecting him. He's gonna say, "Please, no, mister."
Marty, what's that call? Is he telling the truth, or is he fucking with us?
He's fucking with us.
Alright. Is there keys to actually get in the cell?
The whatchamajigger has them. I can't believe I just forgot the name of a jailer. But yeah, the guy in charge of the dungeon does have them. At your guys' request, he would let you guys into the cell. Because Marcus condoned torture and he never questioned it. He's like, oh yeah, you guys want to get in there and rough him up? Yeah, that's fine.
Man, it's a real shame that assassin killed him.
Yeah, he gives you guys the keys to this kid's cell.
Marty,
as
keep we're gonna ask him in front of the kid to step outside.
Oh yeah, nobody's in this room with you guys. You've been having a private conversation with them. That's why I went through of like describing the area.
Okay.
Celebrus, stepping forward like onto this kid. He's gonna like. Celebrus doesn't have to roll an intimidation check. He rolls a wisdom save against Celebrus just naturally, and he's gonna say, I killed him, I'm sorry, I killed him, I'm sorry!
Why?
And he's going to say, he was conferring with the enemy.
What enemy?
And he says, a little Nagai.
How did you find this out?
The other man and him got into an argument, and I ran my spear through him when his back was turned.
And inciting his.
At this, yeah, at the threat of Celebrus violence and him, just being locked down here, he seems like he's telling you guys, like, this is earnest panic and fear.
So nobody hired you to kill him?
He's going to shake his head.
Do you know the name of the other man that he got into an argument with? The one that was escorting you?
Oh. He is gonna nod and say his name was Kyrus. He said just blame it on him and that they'd be after him and they want to kill me.
Kyrus. Son of a bitch.
I love this. I love Gale's song.
You're saying Kyrus as in Matthew?
He shakes his head and says, I don't know.
Middle-aged man, slightly gray and kind of disheveled.
He nods, a big scar on his face.
Son of a... Thank you. And Celebrus just leaves the cell and locks it.
Wait, let's ask him about the spell that's on him. If he knows about it.
If he's dealing with that person, that spell is not going to be something we can get rid of easily. I'm not worried about it right now.
He's going to call and say, please don't tell him it was me! Please!
What's your last name? That was a joke.
Oh, okay.
Artie, we need to go now.
Okay.
Gale's son.
Leaves kid in cell. Alright. Where are you guys going? There's a few more things I wanted to tackle tonight. Depending on, what you guys do might be, depend on if we end here or not.
Wait, that fucker's free and assassinating people? Why am I alone in this castle right now?
He did not. He did not kill anybody.
I'm back. Finally.
No, he called out a traitor.
Hey. So, what you missed, Derek? They had Thalin stand guard as they interrogated this kid. The kid lied to you guys and told you the other man that was with him killed the High General of Arms. The kid was the squire sent to serve as a squire on your guys' side of the war until it was over. The man that he was with got into an argument with the High Lord of Arms. The High Lord of Arms was talking to a Lilna guy, and from at least what the kid told you guys, working with them, and the kid got angry and rammed his spear through the guy's back while he wasn't looking, and the man that he was with told him to blame it on him, and that way, they wouldn't kill the kid, and ran off.
After grabbing Thalin, I'm heading back up to Ariana.
Alrighty. Yeah, Ariana is going to be so done with the 24th. The 23rd. Worst day ever. You getting back up there, it's evening. Everybody else going with Celebrus?
I mean, if they come and get me.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go be a guard.
Yeah. By the way, let me roll you a percentage die. The Sage's Tower stays, even though that was the site of, the last assassination. This time it's relatively, quiet.
Actually, Celebrus, knowing who they're dealing with right now, would be going to get Anderson on his way.
Cool. So I'm gonna a quick re-end curse and an apology for being the world's shortest and worst guard. And then apparently I'm back with the group.
Just like, is there any way? Yeah, protect this person. I feel so much safer having. Hey, I'll see you later. Oh, okay.
It's like I feel so much safer. Anderson, Galesong's being a punk again. I'm sorry, I have to.
Basically, on their way back up, Celebrus will explain to Anderson what they got out of the kid.
All right.
I think leaving you alone would be a bad idea.
Ariana is still in the same chambers. The 4 knights have this entire area locked down as far as who's getting in, who's getting out. The body has been removed from the floor of the meeting room, and there's servants now here cleaning the floor. She continues staring southward at the Nakart army that was marshaling, and at this point, there are patrols of people moving on the south of town that she can see and just kind of watch, but not as big of a force amassing. You guys stepping back into the room. Same scene. Taram standing on the side of the room, waiting. Her looking out the window. People in the front of you cleaning the floor. She's going to look back at you, and as you guys come in, she just gives you a nod and continues looking out the window.
So, based on the interrogation of well, put it simply, the child.
She's going to say, I don't care. They came into my keep and killed someone under my care and my protection.
Who was a traitor?
she's going to stand up and say, and still that's something they should bring to my attention and not choose to execute the law as they see fit.
I don't agree with the actions he took, but I am making the statement. I am letting you know. The Elongian prisoner that we had in Storm's Nest, it's not who everyone thinks he is. Anderson, you want to take over there?
The Ilderon general known as Kyrus Matthew is actually Kyrus Matthew, otherwise known as Galesong, Ascendant of the Wind, Bringer of Storms.
Hard sell!
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, I'm tired of saying this, because it's just kind of like, by the way, he's a deity, and it's like, I'm gonna need some pics or something?
So,
when we
you saying that, you're like, everybody's been like, whatever. You're gonna see Ariana's face light up and say, he's returned to us in our time of need.
Yes,
he's a crotchety old man with a violent temper.
He was also the...
Hot kettle black!
He was also the one escorting the scribe, and must have recognized the council member, the general from Alomagai, and they got into an argument. The child, hearing that he was a traitor of the state, stabbed him in the back with his spear. Galesong told him to blame it on him as he took off, and kid couldn't handle himself and pressure in that sense, but that's the only reason I take credence to what he is saying, is the simple fact when me and Anderson talked to Galesong the other night. Yeah. That he's around.
So, yes. Also, too, she is going to point to one of the knights outside the room and say, I have need of somebody capable of casting divination magic. Fetch one of those mages and tell them to dust off their tombs.
Well, what kind of... Father A will put up a hand. Exactly what kind of divination magic do you...
She says, well, we need to find him.
No, that's not what I'm good at. I could pray to him. He doesn't like me, so he might like, the fact that I'm around.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea, my lady, but Galesong has been in hiding for hundreds of years. If he doesn't want to be found, he probably won't be.
That is an excellent point. And Ariana is terribly stubborn when she sets her mind to something and ignores it completely, walking by.
Yeah, that was the whole point of the earlier conversation this morning.
I want you to know how well stated and well rationed that was, so you didn't feel sad when she walks directly by you, not acknowledging it.
My point of this is, I think the talks can still happen. The child, if anything, was acting for the better.
Looks back and says, will be granted the mercy as he is is or was sent to the service, but will face he'll face a life in Storm's Nest for his actions. He committed murder. Father A's like, it's not a bad thing.
Well, actually, I was about to make some kind of plea. He's a child. Children act rationally. Given the circumstances, it's a crime of passion brought on by his patriotism. He won't learn anything if he never sees the sun again.
She is, she's going to exhale and say, I too can be impulsive at times. And she's going to look to, well, she doesn't have anybody she can give orders to right now, and she's going to say,
she can give orders to us.
Yeah, she's going to say, I'll see if I can find him a meaningful way to atone for what he's done, but it will be a harsh sentence nonetheless.
That seems appropriate.
Brandon, just before I make my next point, the star that she was under, the star of Maphis, not Maphis.
Maphis, the path to peace.
Celebris is going to look at her. Remember your guiding star. Don't give up on peace just yet.
She's.
I still think there's a way we can resolve this without mass bloodshed on both sides.
She is going to nod and say, I will hear the conditions of their warfare, or for their war, again. Let's hope this time that one of their own doesn't kill one of ours. This whole time, by the way, she's been walking. The knights that were like stationed at the door are following her.
Thank you. And with that, guys, I think we have someone who's been waiting very patiently for a few hours outside for us.
Can I feel the need to make one of my patented terrible religion checks so I can yell at my secondary deity.
Alright.
I don't want to die, so I'll hold off.
She only moves a few doors down the hallway, opening or stepping into a room filled floor to ceiling, 12 feet high, with books, with different areas in the center of the room with calendars and vials of different substances brewing. There's about 4 people in this room just kind of like lazily reclining on plush furniture, nose dug into books, some experimenting with magical trinkets. She calls out in the room and says, which one of you, gosh, what's his name? He's got a title. He's gonna say, which one of you is Diviner Orison? One is going.
Resist.
Well, who's still staying there, by the way? Because I know Celebris walked away. You guys were kind of like going down the same hallway with her talking on her ear. These people are kept in the the offices and diplomats' quarters.
Father, I will probably stick around, not just because I heard the name that she said, but because I'm still. Echo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a little. I guess I'm still a little on high alert from everything.
Yeah, I'm staying around.
Is Barty there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
But somebody should probably go fetch Cinder, or at least be like, "Hey, Cinder, you can
we're about to kill. We're about to assassinate this person in front of the magnate. Like, there's been one. Why not? Porque no los dos. Anyways, one man is going to step forward. And
oh my god, he's so beautiful.
yeah, and he's going to smile and say, "My lady, Magnate Bertolf, it's been a while since the Magnates graced our quarters. You have needs of our services?" She says, "I do." And she says, "My brother and father didn't use you guys?" He shakes his head and says, "No, your brother himself was trained by one of our ranks, but quite proficient himself at magic. Nothing that we were able to assist him with that he couldn't do himself. Your father didn't put much faith in our services." She nods and says, "I need to find somebody. His name's Kiris Matthew." He nods and says, "Of course. I can scry simply on a name, but if you have any belongings, anything to help denote him, personal possessions, I will make the spell much easier to..."
Does he need a personal possession, or just like, if we can describe? I was like, is that like if I can describe things he has?
If he has it, it makes the spell more powerful. It's like, imagine, like having a scrying bowl and then putting in a piece of their hair. The magic knows exactly what to hone in onto.
Damn, we had a really handy trinket for this.
Yeah, you did.
And then Anadelia manipulated a child.
It's almost like this was placed before you guys long ago. But she's going to look back at you guys and say, "I have nothing of the sort. Does anybody else have anything of the sort?"
I have his scorn, but it's not a physical object.
I do not.
No one has a symbol of Gale Song?
But my divine symbol denotes Haldora, with whom I do all of my actions.
All right. He's going to nod and say, "I will see what I can do, Magnate." So he's going to cast a scrying on the name Kiris Matthew, asking you guys for more description about him. Let me look up the text of scrying, because DC goes up and down based on shenanigans. Everybody's passive perception. Hit me with them again.
14.
15.
What's Bartholomew's?
My passive?
Yes.
Let me get to that page. I think it's 15.
Am I there, Brandon?
Oh, your Celebrus is coming back in?
I that's what I'm asking. Would I have been far enough away that I wouldn't have heard her say that guy's name, or no?
Yeah, you would have heard it. You started walking away as she, pushed open the door and was like, "Hey, I need this guy to do this."
Alright, well, hearing the name and knowing that Anderson can't be trusted alone, I would have stuck around.
No, he's fine. Okay.
15.
Okay, well, yeah, I was only asking because I knew Celebrus wasn't there. Alright, so, second hand, you have heard of the target, which gives you +5 to your save. This guy's spell save is at 18. Rolled a 9, and let me see what proficiency bonuses would be at. Let's see, proficiency 6, 9, 15. And he gets +5 to the save. He's going to roll a 20 and beat it. The scrying pool and lots of stuff is about to happen, so just give me 1 second to explain all of this to you guys. So, scrying itself takes 10 minutes to cast. So, you guys have to be kind of standing around this guy for a while, idly, chit-chatting and just waiting for this spell to go off. The scrying itself, he's going to be casting it and trying to, get this to work. He specifically is using a font. Or no, I'm sorry. He is using a crystal ball to scry. The hazy, misty cloud of his crystal ball inside, it starts to swirl, and then it looks like you guys are traveling. It looks like it's traveling through this mist, and it's going to keep doing this for about a minute before it just kind of before the mist itself just kind of condenses. And then expands and just goes back to amorphously moving around the sphere with no direction. At which point, the scrying has failed. The whole time this is going on, Celebrus notices there is a woman in the corner, and I have to look her up real quick. Give me un secondo.
Shit.
You look her in the eyes.
And yeah, she kills all of you. No, I'm kidding.
Do not trust random ass women in this castle.
There's a woman in the corner with long black hair. She's kind of She's kind of sitting unconventionally on a sofa, where you'd normally sit upright in it and be reading, a book with your back on it. She's got her back to the armrests and her legs kicked over the other armrests as she is slouched down in this chair. It's very evident that they don't get, many people at all here ever visiting. She is giving quite a lot of attention to your party, and specifically looking at Ariana. All of that, by the way, is happening over 10 minutes. And it's evident because, none of these other mages in here are paying as much stock to you guys of just oh yeah, the magnate's here, but she'll never call on us again. It's that literally one visit ruler.
Oh, shit.
The other person who has did the scrying, Jami, is going to tell you guys it's failed. Perhaps if your investigation yields any items of his or anything that might allow me to increase the potency of my scrying, I'd be able to be of more service to you. Ariana is going to say, and I can see why my father didn't use your mages.
Damn!
He bows gracefully and says, will there be anything else?
Celebrus is going to walk up next to him and very quietly whisper in his ear, asking him who the girl on the chair is.
Okay, hold on. Somebody was calling me. I had to... roll me a stealth check. Alright, so there's only, so much subtlety you can do this with, as Celebrus is a monster of a man, bending down to kind of talk to Jami, and, whispering into his ear, who's the woman? Jami's going to look back at her and say, that's Alice. She's just one of the mages that I employ here. particularly when I need to train members of the palace in magical matters, and I don't have the time for it.
Thank you. Lady Bertolf, perhaps if we have some other business in the city, perhaps we will try to pick up some personal affairs of his while we're out, and we'll try this again.
All right. Okay. Yeah, he is. I'm sorry. You're talking to Ariana. Yes, I had to keep up with everybody in here. Yeah, Ariana is going to be nodding to leave, and Bartholomew.
Present.
Same thing for Thalin. Intelligence check. DC. DC 12. Oh.
I believe.
Intelligence.
Is it a save or just a check?
Nothing.
Oh gosh.
It's a check. Nothing.
Derp. Derpity derp.
Anyways, Alice is going to close her book as you guys are leaving and walk up to all of you. As she does, she bows to Ariana and says, Magnate, please don't make your reign like your predecessors. Not all of us are as incompetent as Jami.
Jeez.
Yeah, Jami is...
Anybody miss this dude if I throw him out a window?
Yeah, Jami is going to look incredibly offended. She's...
What's her...
Go ahead.
What's her eye color? I don't trust random biddies.
Let me look at her shenanigans.
I want to point out I pieced together a big piece of your puzzle outside of character, Brandon.
Alright. To Father A, she has green eyes.
God damn it!
But,
I like it.
Ariana is... Oh my god, stop calling me! Yeah, just kind of throw that out
Everybody
there.
wants a piece of Brandon.
Yeah, I know. It's like for 1 hour or 3 hours a day, twice a week, I'm unreachable, and that's when people start calling me. Anyways, my phone is like somewhere on the other side of the room. Anyways, the question. Remind me. It just slipped my mind.
I mean, I asked what color her eyes were.
Yes. Yeah. I remember where we were at. So, she is, Ariana is going to say to her, I, respect, ambition. Perhaps I will be back. And she, continues to leave. Come on, zombie dog. The rest of the party leaves too.
Celebris gives her a bow on his way out.
All right.
Father A will kind of awkwardly stare at her and then leave.
I think we're gonna end there for the night. And it wasn't... Okay, that's... Yeah. I'm gonna do experience, then I'm gonna end the session. The 30th of, or rather, your guys' next, date, that you meet on is going to be the 14th of July. Really? Yeah, it's gonna be the 14th of July. Sorry for going so slow tonight. You know, we had everybody splitting up, so it, you know, caused the session to go just a little bit slower, and there are things I wanted to hit. Major...
We went slow, we split up, then we got back together and somehow split up again.
Major things...
That was kind of my fault, too, at that last bit.
Major things that have happened, I'm going to give you guys 1,000 experience base for tonight's session. That's for Father A. Father A and convincing, you know, Ariana to put Anadelia on the High Council, and Thalin and Celebrus convincing Anadelia to delay her orders and request aid. I'll also give you guys 250 experience for talking to Galay and moving that on the story, and I'm going to give Barty 250 experience for... I'm going to give you guys 250 for Barty going and talking to... or going and figuring out that somebody was... somebody had been to the tombs since the last time that he had been there. All in all, 1,500 experience for tonight. And we're gonna go to... And you know what? Nope, I'm not gonna give experience for that. 1,500 for tonight. I feel like that is appropriate.
1,500?
Yes. Everybody gets 1,500 tonight. And I am going to end the